happen now. Now is the vibrate. Vibe. Vibing now. Now is the rate at which we vibe at. Deception and lies dealing with religion and the government. Basically, man, you got a lot of, religions at this point in this Aquarius age, you got enough information out there, enough of sources to get the information to know and understand in this day and age that all your religions, are basically borrowed or changed around ideals, that came from the teachings of Egypt and Kemet, Kemet, aka Egypt, and in Ethiopia and Kush, and matter of fact, Atlantis, all these things, Atlantis and Lemuria, but the teachings came from far back, and these are just stories, Mayat and Osiris and changed to different things later on when basically when people left out of the land of Kemet, and spread, they took that knowledge and they ancient scriptures, with them. A matter of fact, and even at one point after they had moved, they also, like, even though they were separate nations still, before they really started beefing with each other, they used to get the people from the land of Kemet to transcribe or to like basically make a transcript of their ancient, basically their ancient scriptures. So like they would get them to write it in Latin or, basically write in whatever language, that they needed or whatever. So, as a matter of fact, and all this that I bring up, go research and look into it, so I'm not telling you, no baloney. But, with all that being said, well, we know, or most of us know, and not being in denial, because that's another thing too. We're grown-ups here, what I'm saying? Like, all that still faking like, oh, I didn't know that everything came from Kim, or like I didn't know. And then two, that's because you're not trying to change the lie you live in too. So, that's why you're not gonna find the truth if you continue to try to keep the lie up, you know what I'm saying? Because, the keeping the lie up keeps a lot of things, in place, like say for instance, with the lie of like Israel and the chosen people and all this type of thing, you know what I'm saying? With as far as like the Ashkenazi Jews being the true Hebrews and things of this nature, they using that, matter of fact, the government and this, religion, using this for money purposes and, and basically laundering things and just basically all around non-positive things. They're using it to manipulate the mind frames of people and still push that, oh yeah, the Ashkenazi Jews need their promised land, and not keeping it real that, it's talking about the melanated Hebrews, out of Kemet, they're not telling these things, what I'm saying, with all this information out. So it creates a false society also, it creates somebody mistreating, matter of fact, it allows for the mistreating of melanated people, of darker skin, you know what I'm saying? When that knowledge of, them coming from a certain place or having a certain spirituality, when their spirituality is downplayed so you could put up a fake story that came after, you know what I'm saying? All these things, come into play, with the situation, because, we might as well be in North Korea, just worshiping any little picture or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If we're going to still keep up with things that now at this point that we know, we uncracking and realizing that, all right, nah, this not real. Some people, took the Bible and tried to make some metaphorical stories about, about magic and about, your Kundalini rise and all this. They basically took stories of this and turned it into like a story of real people and tried to make you think, that this historically happened, you know what I'm saying? With things that's blaringly, false, or, blaring things like having books of John or using the name Jesus and the letter J didn't even exist in these times, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bunch of, lies and misfigurations. You got the part of man, we're gonna create man in our image, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of like, the gods, instead of one God, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so many, which there are gods, and the supreme architect, so maybe that's a slippage on them keeping it real, no telling. But it's so many inconsistencies, and with all this inconsistencies, you pass that down from religion into the government. Matter of fact, they tied together, the big business and Vatican, that's basically one and the same, So and then you got Vatican with all these pagan statues, or when I say pagan, that's their definition, with all these statues and things that come from other religions and cultures, but they be like, oh yeah, but only stay true to ours, like, well, what y'all doing dealing with all those artifacts and stuff of this nature if you should only be dealing with the Catholic Church, which that whole situation just always threw me off. That's why I'm glad as a little indigo kid, I'm like, man, mom and daddy, this church ain't right. Something ain't right about this. Please, I want to stop going. But unfortunately, I had to still keep going because of the side. Matter of fact, and that's what I want to change. By changing the fact of us having to live these lives, through the religion and government, you know what I'm saying? I was forced to have to sit in the church by my parents unwillingly because of their misinformation and miseducation, you know what I'm saying? Also in my life, and I tried my best not to call it a waste of time, you know what I'm saying? Because I was some trying to, some kind of connection to God that I was trying to get, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I wasn't feeling it, and I knew I wasn't getting a true connection. That's why I didn't like it, you know what I'm saying? But, these type of things are being created when you falsely, give in to things, you know what I'm saying? So if we not gonna keep it real and say that Jesus and Mary come from Ayat and Horus, you know what I'm saying? And all these principles of Isis and Osiris, are basically just changed into different little stories, and that somebody came around in in the last 2,000, 3,000 years, which isn't old at all dealing with their years. They come around and they try to put a bunch of lies out and change things and try to make it all historical. And meanwhile, they don't have no evidence like the pyramids and things of this nature. Like the Sphinx, I always bring up this, that, the Sphinx got water erosion on it from fucking 16,000 to 10,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Predates the Bible, So there's all these inconsistencies dealing with the paperwork on the Bible, and it's known that the Bible is an excerpt from the Sumerian tablets. So, and then the Sumerian tablets get their stuff, from Kemet. So just to let you know the divisions of like how, stuff just changed and dispersed, and took on different stories, and in some cases, and I, like, my thing is, I'm one of them people, because they're like, oh, dang, don't kill a culture. But if the culture that we trying to, stop is a lie, then yeah, like, let's stop the lies. Like, let's stop the untruthful vibes, Why have people worshiping Caesar Borgia if it's known that that's some, some white supremacy type of thing that was made in order, to be, to take things away from the melanated people? Because that's another thing like the evidence shows. The evidence shows that, if you got all these things in place, then why in the hell are you trying to, prophesy somebody, white to me, you know what I'm saying? Somebody European to me, you know what I'm saying? That come from, and then that still, where the story comes out of the Middle East, and then the first thing, well, hey, Corey, why you worried about color? Hey, why you make a false messiah? Why you change the color of somebody that would come from the Middle East, region of like the little Horn of Africa area, you know what I'm saying? Where they would obviously be, at least brown, at least, you know what I'm saying? Why are you changing that, And that's the thing, like, I am a God, I am one with source, you know what I'm saying? I understand what I am, so I don't have no trouble calling somebody, calling a lie a lie when it is one, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the people who trying to manipulate things, that want to make you believe in things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, come on, dog, like, we grown-ups. At this point in time, can we all just start keeping it real about religion and government and what's going on? Like, it's obvious that voting for these people not gonna help nothing dealing with the government. You know what I'm saying? Why are y'all faking like, oh yeah, man, I'm going to the polls. We gotta get out and vote. Voting gonna change. Man, I keep it real about this part of voting. Like, if you voting for like your local alderman, you know, your mayor, in some cases, if your city not too big and corrupt, like, are you voting for like little officials that's close around, you know? Yeah, your vote really do count because they're actually counting those votes, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the presidential election, all this, where you just basically picking out a figurehead that's gonna take orders from England, because basically it's almost like that's the light. What's done in the darkness shall come to the light. You know, but basically, you know, like you seeing that it's almost like we basically never really try to separate from the English colony. It's almost like we're still a part of it, you know what I'm saying? Then I heard these things about Obama. I don't know, y'all go look it up too, because I'm regurgitating this part, but like, well, Obama riding a British airplane and they starting to invoke more BBC type of stuff on TV or whatever. We probably in debt giving, you know, everything back to Britain, you know? But I know for sure we run our money back to the Rothschilds and stuff, so all the 1%ers in the Rothschild family or whatever, they control the money flow. If they control the money flow of a place, you know, if they control the money flow, then they would obviously control a place that's dealing highly in capitalism, you know what I'm saying? And then people be high in capitalism and all this, you know, let me show you the fuckery within the situation, you know, the politics. You know, people, oh yeah, I gotta have my money, this and that. But oh yeah, but hold your Bible near and dear and be like Jesus. Jesus wouldn't create no capitalist system. Jesus wouldn't fuck over people for the sake of money. So you know what I'm saying? You don't make any sense in that moment. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to tell somebody, oh yeah, you know, look at the Bible, look at the book of Matthew, be like Jesus, this and that, but let me hold my fucking $100 million right here, and all y'all can't have none because it's my money and this and that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, really? And in some cases, I'm a person like, man, keep it real. Like, I'm cool with you saying, oh yeah, I'm just faking, you know, this is like, this is a supremacist situation. We just lying and fucking over y'all, you know, just to fuck over some melanated people and have control over the world, you know. Cool. You know, at least you're being honest, because at this point, it just gets to a point where, man, stop insulting my intelligence, you know what I'm saying? And then with it being so many conscious people out there and conscious people arising, quit insulting our intelligence, you know what I'm saying? Because at this point, and that's the realness of a situation, because when I bring up this, the white supremacy situation and the lies about religion and all this, you know, a real white person that's real spiritual and real, you know, about truth would be right there with me, like, yeah, Corey, like, that's fucked up, you know what I'm saying? And they be knowing that I'm not talking about all white people, but the people that's in power that's trying to hold a white supremacy over the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, those, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a true situation that's going on, and real conscious people gonna agree with it no matter what color they are, you know what I'm saying? That's why, like, the other day we had a newspaper that's talking about, like, how cops are getting killed. I mean, how melanated people are getting killed by cops, and you know how we you know, no matter what we do, we put our hands up, run away, you know, talk peacefully, talk irate, whatever we do, we always seem to get shot or choked up, you know what I'm saying? But they had a little magazine or whatever, basically like a newspaper that's printed by these people. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to plug them in on another video, because I don't have the paper right here by me. Let me make sure I don't have it right here by me, because I plug them in right now. But it's a little newspaper, you know, and talking about, you know, trying to change the politics and, you know, basically trying to become proactive and try to become more of a place for the people and stop all this, you know, white supremacy, you know, foolishness and things of this nature. But picture, you know, the people who came in to hand the newspaper to, you know, they're basically trying to get my job to, you know, to sell it. But the people who passing this out was an older white woman and an older, you know, Asian lady, you know. the stereotypically not the people you would think that would be trying to help melanated people out, you know what I'm saying, and help the Africans in America right now, you know what I'm saying, like you wouldn't expect that, but that's the thing, because they're true conscious people that obviously see the obvious problem, you know what I'm saying, and not trying to fake and play Pokemon Go like nothing's going on, you know what I'm saying, like, and try to act like, oh yeah, we don't have a problem, everybody's one, and this. No, there is a problem, and yes, they are killing melanated people. We are a target, you know what I'm saying? And it's obvious, by how many times they do it, and the government allows these police to get away with the situation, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you got inside jobs of magnitudes, man. The government was about to fake like Cubans. They were gonna hire some actors as Cubans to make them seem like they're doing some bad shit just to give a reason to go fuck up Cuba. That's the same people that's running the government. But you want to kill a man over some CDs, or over selling loose cigarettes in front of the store. And which I'm just saying in that nature, because it's been obvious to me what, racism ain't never left. But, with those type of situations, when you got a government that send out drones, you got a person sitting in a little sea can that's flying a little android thing and making it kill people, like, it's just so crazy. But just peeping the inconsistencies, like, the more and more you become conscious, the veil is lifting, where you just kind of see America as the insane place, the insane asylum that it is. People like, oh yeah, we're becoming healthy, this and that, and they still on prescription pills, and still trying to find a way to eat meat all the time, and like I say, ain't nothing wrong, eating it sparingly is, is cool, and anything in moderation. But we live in the same place, where people try to justify ignorance and wrongdoing, you know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing. Like, one of the main things with hate are trying to keep white supremacy in is like, oh yeah, man, you keep things the same, don't change, we don't want change, like, want to keep things like how they used to be. That's the little the euphemism that they use, and like keeping things how it used to be. Good old America, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like how way it used to be. Used to have, and just being real, used to have niggas in the field picking cotton. That's the way it used to be, And it's like, I don't know if we want to go back to that, that thing. Like, it be little stuff, like little hints in that, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I don't know about that, you know what I'm saying? And it's the real, that's why I had to speak it out, because sometimes in these modes, I like to portray the seriousness of the situation and how, and how it is, because it becomes, as a melanated person that been and as an indigo kid that been realizing the real, it becomes very insulting where you gotta watch somebody still implement these little racist euphemisms and still fake like they trying to help you, but they really not, you know what I'm saying? It kind of just gets bothersome over time, you know what I'm saying? That's why the meditation is so beautiful, because it keep you vibrating on that high vibration, even though people are constantly, taking your rights and just trying to mess over you, you know what I'm saying? You constantly trying to bring it to that lower vibration, so you gotta stay, above it all. And I remember at one time when I was starting my channel, I was like, oh yeah, I won't even talk about anything, of a lower vibration. But nah, at the same time, I want to be informative and want to talk on, about things that people need to be enlightened on, you know what I'm saying? Because I can meditate and keep my high vibration, like, even we're talking about, like, all the things that been happening to melanated people, where they've been hiding our true spirituality and placing the face of Mary and Jesus in front of it, all these type of things. With all them things that they've been trying to do, we still a magnanimous people, where we still gonna vibrate, on a higher vibration, and still, take the bullshit with whatever. We just, have our belief in Jah, we keep the vibration rising. But we just need to, in order to really make progress, we gotta stop giving power to religions that that's basically, you know, withholding a lie, you know what I'm saying, and the government that's upholding a lie, you know what I'm saying. Like, if we keep supporting these things, then we will continue to have an insane type of reality, an insane type of society. You know, if we got people still faking like Jesus Christ gonna come back, when that's a story that's borrowed from the land of Kemet, and it was metaphorically speaking of raising your kundalini. You know, the two thieves that were talked about was the two little parts right here by your medulla. You know, I forgot the name of the actual parts of the brain that kind of, when you get the pranic energy back up your, you know, up your spine. You know, they got the two thieves that take the energy, you know what I'm saying, when it raises back to the medulla. And, you know, that's the two thieves of the Christ-like consciousness, you know what I'm saying? When you could find out and understand that these stories are metaphorical, you know what I'm saying? When it's out there, you know what I'm saying? When you could kind of see and understand, in which I understand, you know, some people, you know, we learn at different levels, you know, and from all this food that been put on us that's not good for and all this, I understand that, you know, you may not gravitate to truthful information right off. You know, you've been trained to gravitate towards the untruthful information and take whatever people feed you, you know, figuratively and literally. But, you know, you gotta even if you come from ignorance, you know, it's time to, like, you know, start trying to move away from that. If you're trying to be progressive and trying to change things for the better, you know. But if you're not trying to change things for the better and keep things stagnant and, you know, keep living a lie and all this, you know, then keep the lies going, you know, because the only person that'll get mad at this video and me pointing out that, you know, these lies in religion and the government need to change is people who like the lies in the religion and government. You know, whether it may give them certain privileges or whatever the case may be, you know. Some people kind of act like they won't change, but they don't really, you know, they're really not about change at the end of the day. Their actions and the way they, you know, the way they hold on to beliefs that by now I'm pretty sure even they know, you know, aren't real, you know. It's just bad. It's a bad vibration to have, you know. But we gonna keep it vibrating on that high level. You know? Peace. Happy now. Now is to vibrate. Not too far in the past. Not too far in the future. Right now. Right now is the time to change these lies. You know what I'm saying? We know what we're starting to get closer to the truths about religion, where these hieroglyphs were talking about chakras and not real wheels and stuff like this. We're starting to get closer to knowing these things as fact. So let's start respecting them as fact. You know, nobody is trying to be, and that's the thing, and I gotta say that point before I finish off, you know, with the melanated people, we're not trying to be supreme. We just want our truth. We just want the truth about things to be said. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, because look at the nature of myself and, you know, and others. Like, we're not trying to be supreme. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's trying to rule over nobody. You know what I'm saying? We just want the facts to be, you know, to be out there and to be respected. You know what I'm saying? Because as a person, as a sane person, you know, I would just like to live in a truthful society, you know, as a sane person, you know what I'm saying? Getting away from insanity, I would like to live in a truthful society, you know what I'm saying? That isn't based on, you know, hiding certain truths and making governments and things built on a supremacy, you know, that's trying to get rid of or kill other, you know, people of other ethnicities or colors, you know, but which, like I said, ethnicity is a genetic thing. It ain't. It's just more of, you know, physically what your chemical base is, more or less than the actual ethnicity, you know what I'm saying? But need to get to the truthful vibes ASAP. Now is to vibrate. We're vibing right now. Now you can change everything. You can change the past. Right now, like I've been saying, change the past. We're not trying to stay in the past. We're not still trying to be the help in the slave house. We're trying to change the past. change the future right now. You know, make a different future by being truthful about religion and government dealings and situations. Happy now.